Welcome back, everyone. This is our Wink 7, and we've got about 4 hours and 20 minutes left in the competition. I just wanted to do a quick little video here just to show you guys sort of what my setup was, maybe give you guys a couple of what the lessons that I learned were. So essentially, I didn't change my setup too much from the previous competition. The previous video of this competition. It is the same. As you can see, I'm still running pretty much all the same businesses. I haven't really changed it up too much at all. One thing I have been doing quite a bit, though, is trying to keep my businesses on one land, at least for now, at near the end, because I sort of ran out of the ability to attack, and for that reason, I also wasn't really using defenses too much, so I decided to switch around my city and keep most of my bigger businesses, or at least all of my businesses actually. This is all the businesses I was running on a land that wasn't significantly under attack. So as you can see, we'll go over to one like this land here. So I've got the Kingpin's Wrath against me here. Now it's not that significant of a issue. Like I have a decent defense up against it, so I could switch it around and be able to. Let me just turn on the prestige icon so you guys can see where I made it to. And then I'll also talk a little bit about my other strategy I was planning to do, but it didn't quite pan out. But yeah, essentially, I could have my businesses switched around, but I decided that, it's only the last couple or 5 hours here basically, so I wasn't too stressed about it. And this way also it makes it a little easier just to ensure if I do get hit, I could just move them to another land. So hopefully my defenses don't get broken in the last couple hours here. But yeah, that's sort of the one strategy I was using, trying to move them around, especially because now I don't really have the greatest attack bonus. If I do hit somebody, like if we take a look, I think I do have a little bit, which I don't even have it on here. So I think most of my attacks have worn off now, but even when I do break through the defenses at the top, up here in the 30s, a lot of times it was like 15-20% bonus. So it really wasn't that significant, and I was obviously running without defenses for quite a bit, so that was one of the things that I sort of switched around, keep most of my businesses on one land, and then when I get attacked again, I would move them to whatever land wasn't significantly hit, right? Now, I also want to just talk. So I was planning on switching up, as you can see that I had on my Sapphire Sanctum. I did have some ready, basically, just to meet prestige requirements, and I was planning on buying some prestige 7s, 8s, stuff like that, and pushing my cool cats up with my current city, and then trying to basically catch up with the cool cats and then pull the rest of my city up too, with a couple of really decent businesses. They ended up getting bid up too much, and I just sort of gave up on that. So it just, it got to the point where it was like, it was another 4 hours and another 4 hours. It was like 15 minutes left in the auction. It gets bid up. So I just sort of gave up on that idea, and decided I'm not going to slip that much. I was at 27, and I have been pushed down to 35. I'm probably going to finish somewhere around like 38, maybe 39. We'll see, especially if like Raz Al Ghul or Kwanzaa, if they're able to catch up to me here. It's not like they couldn't, so it's very good potential that I could get pushed further down. As everybody up above me here is generating more than I am, so nobody's slipping down towards where I'm at currently. So really, all I'm able to do now is just sort of try to hold on to my position. Now I do have significant amount of diamonds still, so here's a reminder: if you are in the Legion, make sure, because we are going to be the winning faction So congratulations to the Legion, and also congratulations are definitely in store to Meta. He hit Prestige 14, and that's quite a significant achievement. I didn't know if too many people would get above 10. I didn't think he'd be getting to 14, so that's pretty impressive. And he did choose Legion, and I could see now that FFTB, Future Favors the Brave hacker, he has chosen Legion as well. So you can see a lot of the people that were undecided have sided with Legion. I'm a sure fiend for Crow will. I know Crypto Ocean, he's usually Legion as well. He'll be selecting Legion soon. But so yes, we did win the war. I mean, I don't think there's any way that they can flip it. If Meta and FFTB hacker had chosen to side with the Void, then the Void would have won. But I'm glad that they selected Legion. I was a bit worried at the start there. But again, congratulations, Meta, on a stellar performance, hitting P14. That is pretty significant. As you can see, I've got a few here, but we'll flip over and take a look at my mainland. I am working on Prestige 5 at the moment, which, I'm probably not going to get any businesses up to Prestige 5. And if I do, it's probably just going to be this one. So we'll see what happens, but I'm not holding my breath for Prestige 5. But again, if you do have diamonds, make sure you spend them, because we will be getting 5% of our competition diamond spend back into normal mode. So that could be a decent amount of diamonds for you to use in normal mode. So just make sure you are looking at spending all of your diamonds in the lead up to the last hours here. Now, speaking of that, what I am doing, so you can see everything is lightning boosted right now. And as you can tell, that's not the normal timer for a lightning boost. So what I've been doing just to help burn some diamonds is put the boosts on. Right, so I'll buy the boosts and then stack them. I only stack it twice though, which costs like almost 4 million diamonds. If I'm really struggling, I'll put on more, but I think just buying the boosters here near the end are probably going to keep me, because I'm going to need 8 of them anyways, will probably pretty much deplete all of my diamonds and keep me pretty much out. Now that being said, I did have probably close to about 6 million diamonds this morning, with, about 12 hours left in the competition. So what that tells me is I could have probably ran my city a lot better. So that being said, what I'm thinking I had messed up on is I probably would have dropped either the bank or the arcade, and just ran with 1 4 space. It was nice having 2 though. I mean, it is significant when they get up to prestige, but I found that I think they maybe slowed me down, and I should have probably looked at putting in another like Leo and Co or something, especially because the Felice is a pretty significant, like a pretty decent business for what it is, and really it does kind of compete with my bank, right? So we could see what this is generating versus this one, right? So sure, this is getting an extra 60 million per hour at 2-star, which it wasn't always at a quality 2. It was a quality 1 for quite a bit until I pulled a second one. Now that what is one thing I want to say is, like, I play with what I receive from blueprints, right? So I'm not purchasing stuff, especially not off the market, unless I really have a change of strategy. Then I might purchase something. Like I was discussing, I was looking at, I believe it was a Cyber Bazaar that was quality 5, that was max level, and then I was trying to get one of like a hotel, a resort, and I was sort of in a bidding war with Pollock US, and I believe Blade 007 ended up bidding me up right at the very end when I had like 10 minutes left in it. So that was a bit of a bummer, because if I would have got that, I think I could have had a little bit better of a ranking. There you go. I think he's getting some revenge because I waited right to the last second and bid him up on one of the resorts that I ended up getting outbid on him, because I had found an 8 and he was bidding on the 7. So maybe he's just attacking me because he knows I purposely waited right to the last second to bid it up, and extend it by another 4 hours. So there is also discussion. I saw Nick's on X posted that it's likely they will be reducing the duration of the auctions down to 3 hours, which will be nice. I think that the market is active enough to probably even go down to 2. I think 2 is probably a good spot, but we'll see how 3 goes. 4 is definitely way too long. But yeah, other than that, I could have, yes, definitely ran a little bit leaner of a city, and I think maybe introduced a few commons into it. I should have probably ran a few commons, but I didn't. I ended up finding that these worked quite well to push with, especially with this one being a quality 3. It was good to get up first and then continue to work forward from there. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I hope everybody had a good competition. And, you know, with the last 4 hours that we've got here, hopefully you're able to secure your spot. Myself, I am probably, like I said, looking at least 40. I don't think I'm going to get pushed out of the 30s. So for me, if I even hit 40 here, that's going to put me at about, 780 crow. So that's not too bad of a payout, especially as I had already sold a business for about 200K vouchers as well. So that would put me at almost 1 million vouchers total net profit over the whole of the Blitz. And that's without spending any vouchers at all. Strictly just playing with what I receive from the blueprint drops. Yeah, I mean, if you guys got any of your lessons learned or tips that you want to share with me, I'd love to hear them as to exactly my final verdict and everything. I will set out a debriefing once I do receive the rewards, just to be able to record and discuss what I receive, as well as the 2 NFTs that I get, so we can discuss that. That should hopefully be within the next week once the competition's over, but we'll see. But other than that, I think, I was happy I could get at least 2 Prestige 4. I was hoping to get a little bit higher, but again, like I said, I think I was running a little bit too heavy of a gold requirement. I think these businesses were a little too expensive to work together. So I think in the future, I either need to choose one or the other for a 4 space. Personally, I would have rather had the main motors, especially because the main motors has the Monk's Nut Treehouse skin, and I've got enough of the Monks to be able to run a almost permanent 50% boost on it, which is, really significant when it comes to the early start. Now, in regards to the early start, what I did, and I know I mentioned it a little bit in the last video, but I actually held back and I tried to float around the 600s, between 500 and 600, somewhere in that range. And then come about 12 hours before the start of the 10x day, I ramped up my attacks and started actually building my city quite heavily. And that way I could get myself into as high of a rank as I could for live rank on the 10x day. I think it worked fairly well. I think the one takeaway I have is that the 12 hours, I should have started a little bit later, because by the time I got into my live rank, the 10x day was barely just starting. So my attack bonuses started to wear off. And then as I got into the, mid 200s, low to like low 100s, and then even into, the 90s, 80s and stuff like that, you run out of targets. So there's not really that many people to be able to attack. And I started to significantly lose my attack buffs or bonuses on my city. I did have almost at one time upwards about 1700, which was pretty nice. But again, that's where I think it's just going to come down to playing with the timing, because, you need to give yourself enough time to allow your city to get up to prestige, but you also don't want to go too early that you're not getting enough of the 10x day bonuses in a really high live rank, because that's what gives you that amount of points to be able to secure yourself a really good position. That so yeah. That being said, I think those are sort of the small takeaways that I had. Um, yeah, again, I would love to hear what you guys did, how you guys thought the competition played out, what your guys' thoughts are around the region system. Especially with the 7x cost on all the businesses, I find normally people would have been at like prestige 30, right? Whereas Meta only hit prestige 14. I mean, sometimes they even hit like 40, right? They can get really moving in the old system. Now that everything's a lot more expensive, I find it's not as easy to build your city up. As you can see, like I didn't do a prestige a day, right? I was not able to. Again, I did sit out sort of the first couple days and just sort of like slowly built. Got to 10 as quick as possible. Sold my best business, which was a quality 4 arcade, and I pulled a second arcade. That's the reason why I sold it. I figured I can work with a 2-star. I'll sell the 4-star. Made 200-ish vouchers. So that was pretty good, which I did spend quite a bit in normal mode on some blueprints and stuff like that recently. But yeah, other than that, guys, I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully everybody enjoyed the competition and is happy with their rank. And let me know what you guys get for an NFT drop down in the comments below, and any of the tips and strategies you want to share with me as well. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and we will catch you in the next video.